Live from the Pines, your favorite East Texas sports podcast. I'm actually live tonight. Tonight I have joining me Coach Chris Doggett, Splendora High School.
What's
Coach
up? What's up? What's up?
Clear Lake High School. Both Panther alumni, and both have played in the playoffs for Lufkin and know a lot about what it takes to be a Lufkin Panther. So we're going to talk to these guys tonight and hear what they got to say about this season. I want to give a shout out to our guys at Zilker Belts. Use discount code Pines936 for all online orders. How you guys doing tonight?
Doing great, man. Appreciate you for having me, my boy.
It's always a pleasure to have you on the show. I think it's both y'all's first time coming on the show tonight. So
yeah, man, we've been asking, but I ain't gonna tell the people how you do me. We've been asking.
Yeah, thank you guys for doing this. Though we appreciate y'all doing this. So it's round 2 of the Texas High School football playoffs, and our Lufkin Panthers are still alive. Before we get into that topic, let's talk a little bit about you guys and, tell us a little bit where you're at now, your time of being a Panther and, how big this is for you guys. We'll start with Coach Doggett.
I'm at Splendora High School right now. This is my 4th year at Splendora. Born and raised in Lufkin. Worked at Lufkin for 5 years, one of the best jobs I ever had. To see some of these kids playing right now is a blessing, As far as me, man, I'm enjoying life. I appreciate Splendora, learning a lot. It's a great place to be, and just find time to keep up with Lufkin when I can, man. But
so, Coach Doggett, what years did you all play at? What years did you all play at Lufkin?
I graduated in 2010, so 2009 season. I played and graduated 2010.
Class of 2010. So, do you remember, your times in the playoffs of the Lufkin Panther?
Yeah, man. My senior year, we kind of blew it, but it definitely was fun times. Growing up, I was a huge Panther fan, still a huge Panther fan. So, from the time growing up and even playing there, it was just just a crazy moment to be in that atmosphere at times. Didn't get a chance to get a deep playoff run, but witness it as a fan and just being a part of the culture, seeing guys work, seeing guys shine. It's one of the best feelings, man. Lufkin football is probably the best thing ever to me.
So we're not going to talk about, when I was a kid, I was very much a Lufkin Panther, but me and you have a unique story to talk. We always talk about, there was another team that I did have some, loyalty to, but we're not. It shows it's a Lufkin show, so we're going to skip
say
it.
Nothing.
But Coach Ellington, let's see. We went to school together, graduated together. I didn't play football with you after freshman year, but let's talk about a little about your time as a Lufkin Panther. Your playoff experience. Coming up wanting to be a Panther, and basically where you are now as a coach.
Now I'm the cornerbacks coach at Clear Lake High School. I was born and raised in Lufkin. As a kid, I would probably say that my most favorite players in the world existed as a Lufkin Panther. I remember days where I would go park outside of the grass practice stadium, me and my mom, just to go watch Lufkin practice, just so I could see those guys that they had the shiny purple helmets with the packs. But my experience as a Panther, I never really got to experience what a playoff run felt like. Both years we were knocked out in the first round. My 2 years in Lufkin back in 2015, 2016. We were both knocked out by familiar East Texas foes. Actually, we lost my junior year to Longview, and my senior year we lost to John Tyler in Tyler. So actually we lost in Tyler both years. So that stadium does not have much good luck for me as a player at all. But I would say that the program itself is very distinct across the state, despite the places that I worked and the culture that they have compared to Lufkin. I would say that the culture in Lufkin as a community base is very different than the places that that's for sure.
Facts.
And y'all both grew up in Lufkin. You left for a year or two and you came back to Lufkin, but something we always talk about in college football is the blue bloods of college football. You have Nebraska, you have Texas, you have Oklahoma, you have Alabama, you have all these schools that are just, winning is, what you do. And, a lot of schools have got away from that, but it's as far as, being in high school football, we were 5A football forever. We went 6A for a little bit, and we came back to 5A football. There's a few schools that talk about high school football, And Lufkin is one of those schools, no matter what has happened the past few years, you have to put up in that category because it's a different standard to play Lufkin football or to live in Lufkin and be a Lufkin Panther. So y'all want to elaborate a little bit on that?
I will. Going to college, everybody knows where Lufkin is at. Everybody know Dez Bryant, George Lane, Reggie McNeil, and other guys. They had a big game against them. But everybody knows Lufkin. People act like because we ain't had a state championship in a minute. It's a factor. But when you go out to college in different places, everybody know Lufkin. We fast, we physical, play good football, and we got great people, man. So you well known and you wear it with pride.
I remember this, a few years ago, especially when we were in school, like hearing, different recruits come talk to players and stuff. And, one of the things they always say is, there's something different in the water when you breed Lufkin football players. Those guys are always big, they're fast, very knowledgeable of the game. And that goes back to, being at a young age, playing youth football, coming up under some of the, greats like Jeff Rogers and many more. It's established in you at a young age that, it's more than just a game.
Oh, thanks.
And, you go back and you named a few names, but you go back, you could fill up a whole paper, just write names of Lufkin greats and guys that move on and played college football and also, had a chance to play in the NFL. And I saw a stat the other day, the percentage of, even getting an invite to an NFL camp or getting a tryout or even, making a roster, the percentage is very slim. And one thing we could say and be very proud of from being from Lufkin is that, we produced a lot of guys to have that chance to go play those, top level football.
Yo, man, Lufkin got the best players in the world. The best players in the world come from Lufkin, Texas. That's a fact.
Yeah, that's
no opinion.
I agree with you. But
that's a fact.
Vontae, what do you want to speak a little bit on that?
Lufkin being a blue blood in Texas high school football?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, will forever be a household name in Texas high school football. Now, whether people acknowledge it or not, they know in their mind that if they were to see Lufkin on their schedule, like their eyes gonna get a little big because like a lot of teams know that when they play Lufkin or if they were to play Lufkin, the magnitude of playing at A. Martin Stadium or even just playing against Lufkin in general, it's a big time game, and they know that we take football to a whole different level. I remember as a kid, we us as friends, we go to school together all week. But on Saturday, I might stay at your house, you might stay at my house. But at 9 a.m. when it's time to kick off, we not friends for that hour. But after that, we can go home together, eat our snow cones and do whatever we wanted to do. But it was a different type of raising at Morris Frank Park in Dunbar Hill.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and a lot of different towns. You have kids that you have multiple middle schools. You have kids playing different youth leagues and stuff. And I know now in Lufkin you have the two separate youth football leagues. But when we were growing up, everybody, if you played football, you had to play in one league, and you played against you were going to play against one of your buddies one week. And if you look at all the different, surrounding towns and stuff, the ones that play football, those small towns, we played those guys too. And, those small towns had guys that, were just as good as some of the guys we had. And, you go to middle school at Lufkin, you start football in 7th grade. I think a lot of things that separate Lufkin from a lot of different schools is a lot of the kids that, get to middle school have been playing football for multiple years. Mm-hmm. All you have to do is get these kids in the weight room, teach them how to lift weights, teach them how to condition and, work the body. But football is like a natural game to most kids that come through Lufkin.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I worked at the middle school and, going out there on Saturday and supporting those kids and then turning around and having an opportunity to coach them in middle school. It definitely was an opportunity to see like kids special at a young age, like for instance, Kevondrick Taylor right now. I remember he was never on my team in middle school. I was on the gold team, but in practice, I had the game plan for Kevondrick Taylor. Like he was that dangerous. Quincy QT was a dog in middle school. I remember him being like kind of injured sometimes, but just knowing he was special. Zion being super strong, Elijah, we call him Sleepy. In middle school, all these guys got their own story. Lil Hooper, Big Hooper, Rossberg, all these guys. Evan Young, from seeing Evan Young 8th grade to now is a great story for him and his work he put in, and chasing what he's chasing right now. But for Lufkin as a whole, I mean, it's just a program. That was an easy job for me. It was a great job for me. I enjoyed working there, and the kids was, gave me a highlight of my life.
Just to feed off that, I feel like Lufkin, like one horse towns, I don't think they realize how blessed they are, because the school I'm at now, we have 3 middle school feeders that kind of feed into our high school.
Mm-hmm.
But 2 out of those 3, 2 of them get split between us and Clear Falls High School. So, I mean, like, you'll go to a middle school game and see these kids, you might be excited about their future, but come 9th grade, they're at Clear Falls High School, whereas their best friend is over at Clear Lake with us. Mm-hmm. So now they get to play against each other for the next 4 years, because they're gonna be in the same district forever. So now you don't get to play with these kids that you grew up playing with. Whereas in Lufkin, the same. My next door neighbor Cordell, he was my quarterback from the time I was 8 till I was 18. So I mean, a lot of kids don't get that.
Thanks. That's special, man. A lot of people don't really see that. That's huge for a community. That's huge for chemistry. And it goes like coaches can coach, players can play, but at the end of the day, if a team has chemistry and they playing together, they enjoy playing with each other, and they rooting for each other to win and be successful, good things can happen. And that's one thing Lufkin, I think, can hang their hat on sometimes. They have a great group of kids, and no matter what you do, those guys are going to keep playing, keep fighting, be coachable, and do what it takes to win and root for each other.
No doubt. Looking back over the years like we've been doing for the last few minutes, what are some of y'all's greatest Lufkin memories since y'all's playing careers?
Lufkin winning state. I mean, I was in the 4th grade with Lufkin won state. Seeing the years versus South Lake Carroll, seeing the greats from Sparky Hamilton, Courtney Garcia to, seeing these kids now and rooting for them and being their biggest fan. I think a Lufkin football was bigger than the NFL to me as a kid growing up. I think everybody said, but it's the truth. So
like I've ever been a kid getting those magazines with the rosters in them.
Facts.
And sitting at home and creating a team on NCAA, the Lufkin Panthers. I had the whole roster, even the offensive linemen. I didn't want to play with Texas. I didn't want to play with Alabama. I wanted to play with Lufkin.
Thanks.
It's like, it's just, something you take pride in at a young age. And then, you get to be the age that we are now. And it's like, y'all's season's sadly over right now. But what are y'all doing Friday night?
Lufkin, Texas. I'm going to Lufkin Panther football in New Caney, Texas, man.
We got a golf tournament Saturday at Crown. It's finally opening up. It's, been since April. The club's been closed. And, like me and Trey, another co-host, it was like, if Lufkin plays Saturday, there's no way that's even an option.
We canceling it.
You got to go watch Lufkin.
We can postpone that.
Exactly.
We can postpone that, man.
And that's like, we have that, that NFHS, we have Lufkin game time, which we're so thankful to have, Lufkin game time.
Shout out to them, man. Appreciate time, man.
Yeah, it comes in clutch, especially for the people that are nowhere close to travel to these games. But, we had a game at home Saturday, and, I was moving all day Friday, and I didn't even finish moving. And Saturday, I was up at the crack of dawn going to William George to get food, and went by the barbershop, and I was headed to A. Martin, start tailgating because, we got a home playoff game in Lufkin, and it's a Saturday. That's a big deal in like a town like this. And we sat there and tailgated for, Lord knows how long. And, right before kickoff, we were headed in the stands.
No doubt about it.
Nothing like walking in there, hearing that, the Lufkin band, shout out to those guys. I think they're 3-time state champions. Back to back. And, they had the team all fired up, and we just came out, quick. And we were hitting them in the mouth. They were turning the ball over. We were scoring on defense. We were scoring on offense. And, I don't know if I hope those kids realize, that's some of their last times getting to play at Abe. But, like, getting to play on a Saturday in a playoff game, like, that's freaking huge.
That's different, man. That's different.
It's been a while.
And I want them to take all that energy into Friday night and just perform and be the best they can be. And, keep riding, man. Do it for each other. Put on a show, because I'm definitely going to be ready rooting for them, man. Number one fan. You heard me?
As we hop into this season, they've definitely been battle tested. You go on the road to Galveston Ball to finish the season. You go on the road to Port Arthur Memorial. Both these teams are Barboursville. We played them in Lufkin, but all three of these teams are gearing up, for a round 2 playoff game, just like we are. And this district is not as strong as some people make it out to be, but you still got 4 teams in the same district that are going on to round 2 to play, still playing football in the playoffs. That's a big deal. And
they got a chance to win.
Yeah, you got Galveston Ball. Galveston Ball plays
Consolidated.
Angleton plays Port Arthur Memorial, and then Barboursville plays
LaPorte.
And all those teams, just like we do, we all got a dogfight.
Every game in our region this week is like it's not a certain winner.
You freeze.
Besides Lufkin being college is not a certified winner. Like you can't just pick one. It's not definite.
And College Station is somebody we all have. You got a story about them. I think we've seen them in the last 3 years twice, and I think we've been successful. Correct.
I've actually had the opportunity to coach some of those kids that'll be playing on College Station's football team. So they have potential on their team. So, I had those guys when they were 7th, 8th grade in middle school at Consolidated Middle School in College Station. So, it's going to be a good fight for them. It'll be good to see them compete against my hometown because I'm sure they got tired of me talking about it as a coach.
I'm talking about Lufkin, man, for real.
That was a Lufkin.
Got to talk about Lufkin, man. Can't help it. Got to talk about Lufkin, man. Got
every
to.
Day.
So as Chris, you had a chance to coach a lot of these kids on this Lufkin staff. What do you think that makes this group stand out so much going into this round 2 playoff game?
Speed. I think they speed, and me knowing them, I can be biased and say, they got good chemistry. Say that again, but the speed. I think watching College Station, they're gonna do a lot of play action, unbalanced formations, things like that. But Lufkin speed can really help them dominate and change the game. Especially up front on the D line and O line as well. With us, the run game, Waters, Gavin, QT, and all those guys. If we can run the ball and play defense, I think we can do our thing. And, there's special teams too. A lot of people don't respect it, but special teams win ball games. And I watched Nolan kick field goals, try to kick field goals and practice punts in middle school on his own with nobody, talking to him or trying to force him. Like that's something he embraced in middle school, being a kicker and doing well at it, being great at it. So I think their speed can change the game Friday night.
Coach E?
I don't too much know any of the kids personally. I've seen them all play, but personally, I don't know too many of them besides Evan Young. I remember him being a little kid running around Lotus Lane Apartments, same place I lived at the time. But even then, like the same time that we were all out trying to throw the football, he had to be 10 years younger than we were. He was trying to hang with us and do what we did, and like we embraced him as if he was one of us. So I know that if you come out of Lotus Lane as a football player or anything really, you're gonna be pretty successful at it because you had somebody around there that was well versed in what you were trying to do, and they pretty much showed you the way.
Yeah, and that just goes back to everything we've talked about so far. These one-horse towns, everybody, growing up around each other, and like you said, Cordell's your quarterback since the time you're 8 years old. Like that goes a long way. That you don't have you get a lot of kids who get to high school. And, they've never even met this kid, or, they've never played football with this kid, and that makes a whole difference, for chemistry on the football field as far as, coming up together, playing middle school football together, being in the same program as middle school football, and then getting high school. And, we all played freshman year together. I think we had one loss our freshman year.
Yep.
We lost to one. And, y'all guys, y'all had a heck of a career. Y'all might have not got the outcome in the playoff run as y'all wanted, but, y'all put up some stats. Y'all had played some big games. We played in Louisiana 2 years in a row, I think.
Yep.
So,
played both times we played the defending state champions in the biggest classification in Louisiana. And I think in both games, we lost by a combined 11 points.
And that's when I started coaching. Great group of kids, man. I started coaching when Vontae Neal was coming up in high school, man. Watching y'all in ninth grade. Then started in 707. Cardell was the QB. We had a wonderful time in College Station, man, and it's been Coach Doggett since then.
So
Some of the
you got a
best
chance.
memories.
You got a chance to be a part of the third round playoff run in 2018.
Fourth round. Well, we
Yeah,
lost the
I'm
fourth round,
sorry.
yeah. So yeah, I was at the middle school. You know, that was a great time. Great time to be alive. Those kids were special to me. You know, they worked hard. Same thing as this group. Got a nice little run game. You know, played good defense. You know, and enjoyed playing for each other and being around each other. You know, so hopefully we can bring the same excitement these next few weeks.
Were you there for that game, Monte?
Yeah, sideline access.
Sure, do you hear me? What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
I didn't know if you made that.
During that run, actually, I want to say I didn't miss a playoff practice. I happened to be at home in Lufkin for break from college, and I didn't miss a practice
So you were right there hand in hand with those guys.
every day of the week.
As far as being a coach now, do you think coming up under these Lufkin coaches and them still reaching out as mentors and wanting to help you guys, do you think that has a lot to do with y'all's success as coaches nowadays?
Facts. Coach Quick is probably one of the main reasons I'm a coach right now. You know, he was my linebackers coach in high school, my defensive coordinator. You know, he asked how I was doing. He always checked on us. He coached us hard. He cared about us. He fed us. You know, he turned around and gave me opportunity to be around Lufkin football and coach it, and always gave me great advice. The first time I ever, you know, before I got hired, I think it was some people leaving Lufkin, people coming in. He was like, dog, one thing you got to do, man, you just got to be able to maneuver. You got to be able to adjust at times. You know, things going to happen in life. You got to be able to adjust, think quickly, and keep moving forward. And I will always appreciate Ty Quick and working for him and playing for Coach Outlaw and all those guys still there, man. Coach Cook was my PE coach at one time. I got moved up to high school and he was coming up, and great people, man.
As far as you touching on Outlaw, you know, like that was a big part of Lufkin football right there. You know, that was Lufkin football. That was Lufkin football. He was here in 2001. We won that state championship, and you know he carried on us, you know, legacy of, you know, tradition of winning. You know, that was, you know, he went above and beyond for a lot of those kids on that field.
Oh yeah, facts, man. I remember being like a little kid and seeing Coach Outlaw come to like middle school games when I was watching like older cousins and stuff, and like just seeing him with his shades on and standing to the side, and you know, always looking about business, and you know, playing from him. He was there every single day for us and anybody else who needed him, and just built a great program, man. It's like family. You enjoyed Lufkin Panther football. You played it, watched it, you enjoyed it.
Made a documentary about it.
Facts. I need to air it again, man. I need to play that once a year, man. ESPN needs to get a hold of that.
That definitely needs to be like an E60 or something for sure.
It's all right, man. We keep going on, man. One game at a time. They gonna bring it up in December, man. Just keep handling business, man. Keep handling business.
And like you said, like I think, like, you know, looking in from a distance, getting to, you know, be around these kids, you know, just a little bit. I think that you know, the way these kids carry themselves, their maturity, and like the way they click, like, you know, nobody's arguing on the field. Like I saw against Galveston when we that first play of the game, they bombed us, and you know, people were, you know, obviously you're pissed off, but you know, everybody was on the sidelines picking each other up. You know, like nobody's hurt. You know, we still got 4 quarters of football to play, and like, you know, I think that plays a big part of, you know, this group's success, because you know, you start the season off, you lose 7-3 at home against Longview.
Mm-hmm.
You know, ball game we should have won, you know, poor weather conditions and, you know, all the other things out there. But, you know, this team started off with 1 loss, and they haven't lost yet since then.
Yeah, bro, hey, they rolling. You know, that's one thing I see. Like when I see the highlights from Game Time, and I see Sam Smith, who's you know, a player that rotates in the backup end, makes a play. I see guys on the sideline that start like Waters being the first ones to celebrate and run down the sideline and congratulate him and help him. You know what I'm saying? And you know, be there for him. Same thing with the O-line. You know, running backs are happy. Everybody's celebrating. And I just appreciate seeing that, man. It's a good feeling. So I definitely see that a lot when I see the highlights and things like that.
I feel like Lufkin as a whole, like the cohesiveness from the team, the players, ourselves, like we always kind of flock to each other, whether you were first string or third string.
Facts.
Now, I don't feel like our coaches ever had to force, upon us or teach us how to be excited for the next man. I feel like that was just built by us being with the same group of kids as we grew up from little kids.
Absolutely.
So you were happy to see this kid succeed, whether we were up 60 or the game had just started. It didn't matter to us. You just wanted that your buddy that you've been knowing since you were 5 years old to go make a play.
Mm-hmm.
So y'all both have moved on to the Houston area. Is Lufkin somewhere y'all want to see yourselves at, in y'all's career again?
He loved it. He loved it, man. My wife, you gotta ask my wife. That's how I'm answering that question. You gotta ask my wife, man. I think my family's good where we at. I'm gonna always be a Lufkin Panther. The right things. It really up to my wife though. I'm gonna be a man and answer like a man. I got it's up to my wife. But hey, that's always home.
I would definitely be interested in going back to Lufkin.
I like that.
But I don't think that right now. I think I'm where I'm supposed to be in the Houston area. But one day in the future, whether it be for hopefully a head coach job or just working for the right person when the day comes, I mean, I would love to go get back to my hometown and my community, because I often see people who coach at their alma mater and I see the enthusiasm that they have for the opportunity. And I know that it would be that times 10 for any Lufkin alum. There's a few on staff right now. And I know that the kind of pride they displayed with us in the program. So I can only imagine how I would feel if I were there as a coach.
And I work with some great guys, working with Coach Murphy, Coach Cartwright, Coach Cunningham, Coach Robeson, Coach Tatum at the middle school when I was there. I would do it all over again, so to come back, do it again, I would definitely do it over and over again, working at Lufkin Middle School and coaching the kids and working with the guys I work with. Best job in the world. Come back, it just depends, man. Each day go by, 5150 go up.
So let's hop over to a little 5A1 football real quick. So we got Lufkin at College Station this week. That means Friday. We're all looking forward to that game. Obviously, we're taking Lufkin right there. We go Port Arthur to Angleton. I saw something. I read something earlier. Port Arthur got a big-time defensive lineman back in the middle. From what Monte's told me, Angleton likes to run the ball, but they can't throw the ball. They play great defense. I think Angleton wins that ball game due to the fact that Port Arthur's quarterback play.
Yeah. Well, did the D tackle play against Lufkin?
No, he just came back this week.
I got you.
I'm giving Angleton a win, like during my time there. I know all the coaches over there. We actually opened the season against Angleton this year, and they've got nothing but better since then. They lost one game to LaPorte in a nail biter, but since then they've been rolling offensively and defensively. I want to say they had maybe 4 to 5 shutouts since then. So that's just through district play.
Where they playing at?
Cypress.
Is it? It doesn't say it on here.
At the Prison in Cypress.
Okay. So
I don't know, man. I don't know. I would like to root for Port Arthur, man.
I'm going with Brazoria County.
I'm going with Port Arthur just because.
So we roll over to Galena Park. We got LaPorte at LaPorte versus Barbers Hill. Barbers Hill got a few kids back. I saw also. They were injured throughout the season. They lost their quarterback for the whole season. But I would love to get a chance to meet somebody else in our district. We get through these next 2 weeks. So I'm gonna go with Port Arthur. I'm gonna go with Barbers Hill. LaPorte does have that freshman running back that can run the ball really well.
I'm taking LaPorte.
I'm taking LaPorte, man. I work with a coach, Coach Jones, that coached at LaPorte, man, for some years, and I just think LaPorte might be a little bit too much physical for them. They run game going, man. But Barbers Hill might get the job done. No disrespect, but I'm gonna go with LaPorte.
And that's something I want to hop on real quick. Lufkin's front four might be the best in the state. Like, they have performed every game.
I just need them to be great 5 more times. You know, 5 more times would be great. Be great Friday night, and then we'll talk about that because when December come around and you the last team playing, you can be the best D line on that day, and you can be the best D line in the state on that day.
It's another thing as far as you getting to coach Quincy QT, like seeing him go from receiver to quarterback, you know, in the snap of a finger. You know, is that something you could have saw happen before?
I mean, Quincy QT did it all the time in middle school. Yeah, he played quarterback, he played receiver, we gave him carries. He did whatever it took to be on the field. You know, whatever it took, you know. And I remember he had a bad knees, always have it bandaged up, but he gonna keep going, he gonna give you 100%, he gonna be there, he gonna be present, he gonna be positive, but whatever you need, man, whatever you need, whatever position you want, Quincy QT can play it. He's a football player, a real one.
Quincy QT. Hold on. We just posted something on the yeah, Quincy QT coming in this season, and you know, we had a quarterback, you know, Johnson. We were ready to roll with him. Quincy QT got a receiver. We got Kivo QT. We got Preston. We got Nichols. We got missing somebody, Hooper.
Yeah, you got Chin, all those guys.
All those guys that can play receiver. So, you know, we were loaded in the receiver position, but like you said, Johnson goes down, QT steps up, and he has did nothing but perform for us at that position.
I love seeing it. I love seeing the highlights, man. Whatever play he making, whether it's a throw or run, I just love seeing those guys perform, man. I love seeing Waters play. Waters is one of the best middle school football players I've seen, man. He did everything, man. Waters is the dog.
Let's see.
Waters is a dog.
His brother's a dog too on the defensive side of the ball.
Facts, both of them. Double trouble. Double trouble, man. You got to take, hey, you double trouble, man. You know what I'm saying? They're going to get everything they got. You say what?
You got to pick your poison.
I mean, I ain't never had no problem. I take the energy. I'm never gonna turn you down. As a coach and a player, I'm never gonna turn you down, man. You know, and when I coach those guys, I'm gonna match their energy. You know, I match their energy, man. And it was great guys to coach.
So we move over to the other side of the bracket with LaPorte and Barbers Hill. We got A&M Consolidated versus Galveston Ball and Katy Legacy.
I'm going with Galveston Ball just because I want to see him, you know, beat A&M. Sorry, Vontae, you know, but I want Galveston Ball to beat them boys.
Man, I'm taking Casal. I have quite a few former players that's going to suit up in that game, and I'm interested to see how they do. I expect them to win. I'm sure they expect to win. Most of all, I always look forward to Lufkin getting the chance to play against the teams that I coached at. Just so it's another thing for them to think about. Like Coach Ellington always talked about Lufkin this, Lufkin that, Lufkin this, Lufkin that. So I want them to have to deal with us, and I want us to come out in that situation on top. So then I could go back and reiterate to them what Lufkin is, and now they know.
Is that game on Thursday night or is it on Friday night?
It's on the 21st, so yeah, it's tomorrow night.
Tomorrow.
Why they choose that Thursday? They ready to get it on?
I guess so they get, you know, whoever wins gets an extra day, a couple days of practice.
Sheesh, man, I want my
get a chance to go scout Friday night.
That's
probably
a fact.
Stadium availability too, because I know Katy probably a hot spot this week.
I said they had some issues in like 5A, 6A still looking for games. I've never heard that in my life.
Yeah, I know. The Austin area, they ain't nobody trying to host games.
I'm just glad Lufkin playing in my backyard.
Yeah, you're 5 minutes away.
Yeah, I'm gonna be there for the next few weeks. You know, hopefully they keep coming this way every week. Just think about Doggy. Think about Doggy, man. I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be there, man. We can play in Alaska. I'm gonna try to be there.
That's something I do hope to see Friday when I leave Lufkin. I hope to see nothing but a lot of Lufkin fans on the roads, you know, going to support these kids because it's not hard getting out of, you know, District 5A football, you know, make the playoffs, especially winning district, going undefeated in district. Like those kids deserve everybody's support. And, you know, you're playing an hour and, you know, 30 minutes away from the house. You know, that should be nothing but a, you know, hop and a skip for most Lufkin Panther fans that want to get there and, you know, support these kids. And, you know, back when y'all were playing, you could talk about it for sure. You know, y'all had packed houses every game, you know, home game, packed house, visitor side packed, playoff game, everybody's going. You know, let's talk a little bit about that.
It was legendary. My grandma had season tickets. You know, my family sat on the home side, and they changed it where everybody was sitting on the visitor side. You know, it was always somebody I knew at the games in a full packed house. So I always appreciate that. You know, I felt it as a fan when I was a young kid. So to play in it, I remember playing at College Station at Kyle Field. You know, just a great opportunity. Lost to Russell Shepard, but you know, just seeing the crowd and the support you have from everybody in purple, you know, that's live. And then being a coach there, you know, coaching in the 4th round, seeing everybody in purple, people screaming your name and, you know, rooting for you, everybody coming together in purple is huge, man. And you can feed off of it.
My perspective, I mean, I remember as a kid, my mom, as a kid, I didn't understand why my mom always wanted to get to the Lufkin Panther games at 5:00. You know, and I mean, she always said that you want to beat the rush. And as a kid, I'm like, what rush you talking about? I just got out of school. But then now, as I'm an adult, I'm the same way. So, I mean, on Friday, we'll get out of school at 2:30. But I want to be on the highway no later than 2:45, headed to New Caney to beat the Houston traffic. And, you know, I enjoy actually just watching the pregame, you know, just trying to pick up things that I can learn off of from my future goals and just being able to be around the game even more.
Dude, I remember leaving Lufkin games having to sit in traffic.
Big facts.
Like, I remember going to IHOP and there was nowhere to sit after Lufkin. We're going to Cafe Del Rio or somewhere. You couldn't go eat before the game. I remember I'll never forget this story, going to we went and played in Longview. This is probably 2013, 2014. And we went to Chick-fil-A in Longview. And, you know, you think you'd walk in there and there's nothing but green everywhere. And we walked in, you know, Chick-fil-A in Longview, and it was just purple everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you knew everybody there. Like, I'm like, you know, this many people from Lufkin are going to watch Lufkin play tonight.
Thanks. It's like stopping at a gas station. Like, I remember riding the bus, and, you know, everybody stopping in Centerville at the gas station. And everybody, like, whether you buying something, just having a good time, you know, eating, you know, whether it was tailgating, but the traveling stuff, I do remember that, you know, traveling with it.
I remember going through Madisonville, that stop sign right there in front of the Brookshires.
Oh, yeah.
And those little white flags, and people had their cars painted just Lufkin. You know, it backs all the way up to the main highway, and it was just Lufkin lined up trying to get to Waco or somewhere.
Yeah, man, it's good times, man. Hopefully it continue. You know, I won't be a part of the travel, you know, this year because I'll be traveling, you know, from home, but you know, I hope it's the same thing and a good experience for young kids. I think this is an opportunity to grasp the younger kids right now, and the parents for them kids to be excited, and I hope they get their own playoff run in a few years and, you know, build it.
You there, Coach E?
Yes, sir.
Whoa.
What was the question?
About how important traveling is to Lufkin.
I mean, travel is important for any program that wants to feel supported. I mean, I've been on both sides. I've been a part of a team that you might have looked up and saw 20 people, and I've also been at a Lufkin Longview game where I was on the field, you know, and they tell you it's 11,000 people up there. So I mean, it's definitely a difference as a player when you look up there and know that people are there to watch you. It gives you kind of something more to play for, and the magnitude of the game just goes up from that. And I feel like the community pretty much owes it to these kids, because I said a lot of people didn't give this team a shot back in August based on the results that we got the past few years. They didn't give these kids a shot. And now that the tables have turned, I feel like they owe it to those kids to show up and support those kids for what they're trying to do for our city.
I like it, man. I just think they just keep going. Just keep going, it'll come. Just keep going, it'll come. You know, I think it's gonna be a good crowd there Friday night. You know, the right people will be there. You know, the right people will be there. But the kids gotta play regardless, whether we in the stands or not. They gotta go out there and play for themselves, and you know, they'll catch the next one.
Well, I know, like you guys, I hope we're, you know, sitting on this show next week, you know, talking Lufkin football, get ready for round 3. And, you know, we want to wish a big shout out to those kids, the senior class, the juniors, the sophomores that got moved up. Like, everybody has a role on this team. And, you know, this game Friday is not going to be an easy game. But, you know, I know Lufkin, and I hope these kids can pull it off and, you know, win this game, especially for, you know, this is big. You know, this might be some of these kids' last game playing football. definitely putting on. It could be your last time putting a Lufkin jersey on. So go out there Friday night and give it your all, and try to win that game. Win it for the community, win it for Lufkin. Remember who you're playing for. Those all are big variables going into this game.
Oh yeah, and that's what I want to see. Not being a coach on the field and not being in season right now. Unfortunately, not making the playoffs. Like, I want to enjoy the game as a fan and as a person who loves football and love Lufkin football. So that's what I'm excited for, to go out there and just see those guys grasp the moment and make a name for themselves.
Well, I thank you guys for coming on the show tonight. That
It's gonna be a fun one.
Yeah. It's going to be a great game, and we're all looking forward to it. And I know for a fact Friday 4:30. I already filled up yesterday, and I'm not driving nowhere but from my house to my office. So, I'm gonna have a full tank, and there won't be no stopping more than likely. I'll probably stop at the gas station on the way out, get something to drink or something, and after that, we ain't stopping until we get to Randall Reed. And I hope to see nothing but purple when I get there. I know that College Station's purple just like we are, but hopefully we have more purple on our side. We're gonna be the visiting team, and these fans need to really take an importance of getting out Friday, getting on the road, going down 59. It's not that far in Houston. As soon as you get into Houston, it's right there on the right. You can't miss it. Plenty of places to eat. New stadium. I think that stadium $80 million.
It's one of the most expensive stadiums in Texas. I'll tell you that.
But I'll be there.
So come out and support these kids and be there for them. Support the coaches. Cheerleaders, drill team. Everybody has a role. Band. And again, to you guys, thank y'all for doing this. Coming on live from the Pines. I want to give a big shout out to our sponsors one more time. Zilker Belt. Use discount code PINES936 for all online orders. And go Pack.
Oh, yeah, appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Guys, I appreciate y'all.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.